What conspiracy theories do you think are too logical to ignore? David Miscavige, the chairman of the Church of Scientology, definitely murdered his wife and is getting off scot-free for it. Him and his wife got into a pretty heated argument in 2007, and she hasn't been seen since. Lawyers hired by David claim she is still alive and devotes 100% of her time to work at the Church of Scientology, which is why she hasn't been seen since August 2007. In 2013, a former member of the church had filed a missing person report that was closed after a few officers had spoken and seen Mrs. Miscavige. Even though there's no evidence whatsoever of this meeting, all missing persons reports now are turned down since this investigation is forever closed. She is either dead or locked in a bunker. Mattress firm is a drug cartel or a money laundering company, or maybe they're laundering money for the drug cartels. I don't know, but whatever it is, they're up to no good. We talk about this at work all the time. There's an area that has 3 of them within about 5 miles of one another. Who are all these people buying mattresses so frequently that you need 3 stores to keep up with the sales? Freakonomics did an episode on them. Monsieur running a mattress store involves minimum overhead. A typical mattress salesperson needs to make only a bit over 1 sale per workweek on average. The recession was so long and deep that most people put off buying one for years. That this question is reposted every couple of weeks by them, to see just how close the public is to figuring out their schemes. In that this response is reposted every time to throw you off our trail. That's right, we're onto them being onto us being onto them. With the number of billionaires that are psychopaths or similar, there must be a few super rich serial killers out there. By extension, there must be people making money supplying victims in the same way Epstein was supplying girls to the wealthy who wanted to scratch an itch. With the money, power and influence would come governments and intelligence agencies willing to overlook or cover up terrible actions for leverage. New Coke was a way for Coca-Cola to switch from real sugar to corn syrup without people noticing. Switch to the new formula that everyone hates. Keep it for a while so that people demand the old one back. Then switch it back after enough time has passed that people wouldn't notice the relatively subtle change. The change is not subtle at all once you switch to Mexican Coke for a while, which is still made with cane sugar. Going back to the corn syrup Coke is awful now. It coats your mouth in this weird, gross way that is hard to ignore. Nothing's actually happening in Area 51. The government just keep it so people will focus on it and ignore the shady stuff happening somewhere else. Actually, Area 51 was created during the Cold War as a testing and development facility for aircraft, including the U-2 and SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance planes. And currently it's probably being used to test few weapons, and that's it. Every country has their secret projects and we all know it. The entire alien and conspiracy theories have only fueled movies and TV shows. That's it. That the US knowingly left POWs behind in Vietnam, monsieur. Isn't that just the plot of the second Rambo film? Yep, it is. Greater than popular culture has reflected the live prisoners theory, most notably in the 1985 film Rambo: First Blood Part 2. Source: Wikipedia. Google Maps only asks you for feedback on its navigation when it knows it did a good job. I use navigation all the time, and I find that when it gets me to the destination on time or earlier than predicted, I get a notification asking to rate the trip. But if it gets me there after it originally estimated, I never get that notification. It wouldn't be difficult to program this into the program. So you're likely correct. Google probably figures they don't want to ask you right after they did a bad job. The fashion industry makes too much money from purses to care about making pockets for women easily available. Edit. All the people saying, just buy men's pants, have apparently never seen a woman's hips. Wanna really have your mind blown? Take your pants to a seamstress. We can add pockets or make existing pockets bigger. I do it all the time. $5 a pocket, and I measure your phone to make sure it fits in without any issues. Wait, only $5 a pocket. Edit. I'm trying to sleep, please stop replying, pleading face. Edit 2. I turned off notifications. You buttheads. / Tailoring is surprisingly affordable. The reason Disney came out with a movie called Frozen was so that when you Googled Disney Frozen, you would get information about the movie and not websites talking about Walt Disney's body being frozen. The same goes for Disney on Ice. This is very off topic, but I've seen so many of your comments ever since you mentioned 2 to 3 years ago that many our AskReddit mods such as yourself reply to threads. At least once a week I'll see your name on a post. I've always found your comments to be entertaining. So thanks. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Yeah, I'm on here a lot not just because I'm a mod but because I genuinely love the community and reading, contributing to threads. I like that people always are worried that Epstein was murdered instead of suicide. What if this was a ploy to cover up that he'd just escaped or paid his way out of prison? Well, shit. So Epstein really didn't kill himself is what we're agreeing on here. Nope. Chilling with Tupac and Big and Hitler in Argentina. This is why I like the phrase Epstein didn't kill himself. It can be understood at least 2 ways. He died in prison by being murdered outright, or his powerful contacts helped him get out of prison. Same end results for the phrase. Secret societies definitely exist. No, we don't. Well, yeah? All you need to do is get a couple of buddies together. Privately meet as a group. Give yourselves a name and don't tell anyone. Bingo. You have a secret society. A guy the first know once told me he was part of the Illuminati in university. It was just 6 guys all called Bill who would meet at the pub once a month and tried to help with each other's goals. Epstein didn't kill himself. Hopefully everyone at least understands by now that there are people with power and influence that surpasses that of our justice system and our government itself. The theory that Epstein didn't kill himself. Memes aside, he could have probably exposed a lot more rich people for their sex crimes. They just bumped him off before he could do so. I don't consider that a conspiracy theory. It's just plain fact, honestly. ETA the word theory. This one is small and local but still too insane to ignore and just came up today. Just recently, our small suburban town's favorite gas station went out of business. Everyone went there. The guy who ran it was the mayor. He retires and sells the property after an issue with the ground underneath the gas pumps. They tear down the gas pumps and keep the garage. Mavis Tire bought the property and opened a new store. A few days after the Mavis opens, someone posts a picture on Facebook of an intersection at a road near it with nails all over the road. The guy the Roysies that a box of nails fell off of a construction truck. The police come clean it up and it seems all is well. Fast forward a few days later and people are commenting on the post that they're finding nails in their car tires. Not just from that intersection. People jokingly say maybe it was the new Mavis guys throwing nails around, but nothing really happens. Several weeks later, people have been posting day in and day out pictures of nails in their car tires. My dad took my car into the Mavis in question about 3 weeks ago and they found a nail inside of the right front tire. I noticed that it was driving sort of funny but never that my tire was on the verge of exploding. I jokingly said, people have been saying you guys have just been going around throwing nails all over the place, trying not to laugh at how insane it sounded to say out loud. The guy behind the counter said nothing but, yeah, with a weird smirk. Over 50 people have posted on the town Facebook that their cars have had nails in their tires. My mom is driving my car now because her car has a nail in the tire. It's been almost 3 months. I'll post updates if anyone is interested. Edit. It totally might not be Mavis. There isn't any proof right now. And there are other possible reasons for the nails, but the timing is too perfect to ignore. Edit 2. Apparently, this is a huge deal in foreign countries. Edit 3. Holy shit, this blew up. PFFT, it's not even a joke, it's the truth. It sounds like it makes no sense. Nails? Dude, if an investigation is launched and they find a bunch of nails inside of the shop, like boxed up and unopened, can't they lose business? I have no idea. People are already not going there because of the theory. There's been a lot of construction going on. But for specifically nails to be all over the place is sketchy. I don't know what would happen if people tried to do anything. A gas station guy. We're in NJ, so we have gas attendants. Recently got busted pouring water into mixtures to make the gas run faster, and so people came back quicker. Nothing really happens, so IDK. Jamie Lynn Spears was raped by Dan Schneider. He is the father of her first child. He ruined Zoe 101. I believe that the US government has men in black that make people disappear if they know more than what's good for them. Well, you're screwed now. Yep, and it's gonna be a suicide. Yeah, they're called the CIALMAO. Cuba was just the one that got away. O.J. Simpson is Khloe Kardashian's father. Rob Kardashian himself didn't want a DNA test done because he knew he wasn't the father. And if you look at Khloe, you can easily tell she has some similarities to O.J. Edit. Okay, wow. Didn't expect this to blow up. Just a conspiracy I believe in. Don't want people thinking that I just compare their looks and assume they're just related. This whole thread is basically that part of Maury where they stand next to the TV and point at the picture of the kid yelling at each other. I quite like the missing cosmonauts theory. It's unlikely but seems like it could have been possible. It boils down to the idea that Yuri Gagarin wasn't the first man in space. He was just the first man in space to survive the entire process. Edit. Phrasing. Also, thanks for the gold, kind stranger. There was nothing found about any of this in the Soviet archives after the fall of the USSR. There is a giant money laundering cycle driven by the sale of paintings. It's just a piece of canvas with some paint on it. I may understand some people would be willing to buy paintings from the Renaissance. But modern art is definitely a huge money laundering instrument. Don't want to file taxes on $400,000 private purchases from someone for something illegal? Not a problem, monsieur. Here's a painting that you can say is worth $400,000 in a completely subjective manner, with the true item you want thrown in for free. Bingo. It's actually the opposite. Classic Renaissance paintings, and Van Gogh and Picasso and stuff. The big names are the real money laundering operations. Those are the paintings that sell for 8- and 9-figure amounts of money. Bought by Saudi princes and tech billionaires and shit. They buy them because they're movable property. It might be difficult to move $450 million easily across international borders. But if you buy Da Vinci's Salvator Mundi painting for that amount of money, now you've got basically a fuck-off huge chunk of cash that can fit on your private jet, and that you're legally allowed to take to whatever country you want. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.